What's going on, guys? We are here for the Week 9 match versus Mr. Luminian, aka Sarrfnar, of the Veilstone City Volbeats. We are, in fact, I believe 5-2 right now. Yeah, it'll be 5-2 with 8 matches played because of the bye week. And if we can get a really strong game here at 6-2, we stand a really good shot of clinching playoffs early, which is kind of nice. Because then we won't have to worry about that going into Pablo's match next week. It's coming so fast, I'm so worried. But let's see here. The plan, according to the team builder, if you haven't seen that, make sure to go check that out, is to just straight up lead with Rhyperior because we gives no craps about anything on his team. The fact that he brought a Scavalier, I did prep for it, but I was kind of hoping he wouldn't bring it just because it's kind of a pain to deal with. But we can handle it, I think. So, leading Rhyperior, setting up rocks. So it's got Shiftry. I can take literally any one thing that this thing does to me, but I'm going to Ice Punch anyways. I would prefer to get rocks up personally, but because I can get rocks up and then I can come in on with Mamoswine and just eat the crap out of this thing. But more importantly, I want rocks up for Charizard. That's the big thing, is rocks to weaken Charizard, and we can handle pretty much everything else. If this is specs with Energy Ball, which it could be, we might have an issue. So the safe play is to go into Mega Venusaur. The risky play is to stay in rocks. And I don't think I feel comfortable risking Rhyperior so soon. Simply because I really need to have rocks up for Mega Charizard. So we're going to switch into Venusaur. And if he decides to predict the switch, Shifter doesn't have a lot of movesets other than hidden powers that can hit Venusaur super effective before the Mega Evolution, so I'm not too worried about that. The fact that he didn't bring Chestnut is great. I love that, because now I don't have to worry about bulletproof stopping Sludge Bomb, because that would just be annoying. Yeah, that isn't doing anything. So, he's going to switch. So the question is, what is he going to switch into? I kind of like just hitting a Sludge Bomb, like right now. Simply because Sludge Bomb hits everything except for a Scavalier, and if he's switching into a Scavalier here, I can just switch into Hidden Power. A Scavalier can't touch us either, so reasonably I'm expecting something like maybe a CharizardY to come in as a wall breaker, or possibly like a Zapdos to get some flying moves off, and Sludge Bomb is great against both those. So he could come in Uxie too. If he comes in Uxie, that's also fine, because I'd still rather have a Sludge Bomb, potentially get the poison, but more importantly, just get some good, decent damage off. Okay, so we get the CharizardY, which is great, because we're going to hit it with a huge Sludge Bomb here. Drought is not going to do a ton to us. We are going to Leech Seed first, though, because I'm expecting a Roost. So, we're going to Leech Seed, and then just going to spam Sludge Bomb, I think. Oh, he's going to hit with a Fire Blast right off the top. Alright. Oh, he gets the burn. That's unfortunate. So, he could go with another Fire Blast, which is a possibility. I kind of want to go Infernape. Infernape would resist. It would kind of suck to take a ton of damage. I could go into Latias as well. That burn off Fire Blast kind of sucks. That's unfortunate for us. Now Latias resists the Fire Blast. It's going to take a decent chunk of damage, but we do outspeed it. We do get some Leech Seed recovery, and we can just hit a Thunderbolt straight up. He might bring in Shiftry expecting it, in which case we can just Ice Beam the Shiftry, or duck out into like say Venusaur or something like that. I'd rather preserve the Venusaur to switch into something like Shiftry and then synthesis up on it, personally, because we can still save this Venusaur. So, he might go HP Ice here. I'm thinking he might Roost though. Yeah, we'll go Latias. If he HP Ices, then he's a god. We do get the Fire Blast Mist, which is kind of nice. That means we can pretty easily Thunderbolt here. Pretty much nothing wants to take this. He might go into Scavalier, in which case we can always Healing Wish Mega Venusaur back up, or just drop a Draco or something like that. Or I mean, if a Scavalier comes out, we'll just switch out into Rhyperior. But otherwise, I would much rather come in Thunderbolt just to hit something. So we take out M-CharizardY, which is amazing because that means that takes out a ton of his offense. Because it looks like he's probably going to have a bulky Zapdos, bulky Escavalier, and probably a bulky Fuchsia. So his main offense is going to be Shiftry and Floatzel right now. It could be, Escavalier could be a bulky offense. He did comment on his last video about how he didn't bring enough walls, and he really wanted to transition to like a 3-wall team or a 2-wall and bulky attacker team. So I find it unlikely that he wouldn't do anything else here. So from here, I'm pretty sure he can't do anything to Infernape, like nothing. So I'd rather just go into Infernape now. And I mean, I could hit it with Ice Beam or even a Draco, but I'm worried that it might be Scarfed. I'm thinking though that Infernape can take anything this thing throws at us. I'm not too worried about losing the Scarf anymore because things like Tyrantrum and stuff aren't here. So the Scarf really only helps against Floatzel, and I have other answers to Floatzel. So Knockout doesn't bother me. I take Leaf Storm really well. I also take Ice Beam. Yeah, Infernape's safe, I think. Dark Pulse doesn't do crap to me. And right here, we have an easy close combat, I think. But with the Sun Boost for a turn, I'd rather just get a Flare Blitz off. I mean, I really would. It would be the greatest Flare Blitz of all time. Yeah, we'll do Flare Blitz. I'm feeling gutsy. We're going to use this Sun to our advantage as much as we can. So, still at 6-0, not too bad. If he goes Floatzel here, not too worried about it, I think. I don't want to close combat and kill it and then have Fuchsia come in. Flare Blitz does pretty much all I want to do except against Floatzel, and I'd rather bring in something like Rotom against Floatzel because Rotom's defensive. So, or is it special defensive? I might want to check the team builder. I'm checking my team. If you guys don't like it, I don't know what to tell you because I forgot. Okay, we are, yeah, physically defensive. I couldn't remember. I've been switching back and forth. So he's probably choice locked. So we're going to Flare Blitz down. I don't really care about going to 13%. He's going to bring a Floatzel. Now we could potentially save Infernape, but realistically I don't care that much about differential. But going to Rotom technically would save differential a little bit. That's not the worst idea. So I think I'm going to try and save differential here and go to Rotom. I know my opponent probably doesn't like that too much, but I think that's what I'm going to do. If he tries to bulk up or something like that, which I find very doubtful here, he's probably going to Aqua Jet, really. If he tries to bulk up or do something crazy, I'm fine with that. Crunch doesn't do anything to me. So I don't know what he was expecting with the Crunch. What was he expecting that to do? Like, I don't know. Easy Will-O-Wisp here. I don't really care if Escavalier or or if Zapdos or Uxie get Will-O-Wisp, those are obviously the less preferred targets. But Escavalier and Floatzel, if they get Will-O-Wisp, they're basically neutered. So I'd rather get the Will-O-Wisp off here and then just like spam Thunderbolt. I kind of feel stupid about bringing Rhyperior with rocks now. I could have brought a rock polish set, but I didn't expect the Mega Charizard to go down so fast. I actually expected it to be a lot of work. In the test match that I did against a friend of mine, Charizard did a little bit more work against me. Rhyperior definitely couldn't take anything from Charizard but I did find out that things like Mega Venusaur and stuff, even specially defensive, still potentially stand in the way of a Scarf Tyrantrum or a non-boosted Tyrantrum, which was part of why I wasn't really afraid of going especially defensive. So it does go Uxie with the Levitate, I don't really care. He might try and do something crazy, but I don't know what, so we're gonna hit a Thunderbolt. Okay, especially defensive, so that was the idea. Yeah. I probably win this race, but we could always go Latias too. Yeah. I really like going Latios and just hitting like an Ice Beam or something. Or potentially a Mamoswine. But Mamoswine doesn't outspeed. I don't want to switch it in as a check. I don't know if this thing has Moonlight or not. That's an interesting thought. If it has Moonlight, I'd definitely lose this race. I'm just afraid of switching into Latias and getting the Dazzling Gleam on me, because I think he would be just cheeky enough to do that. I'm going to spam one more Thunderbolt. I'm going to see if he switches up. Predicted the Thunder Wave. I expected him to go another move. I didn't expect Thunder Wave. I was, like I said, I was scouting for Dazzling Gleam. So now we definitely win this damage race, so I'm just going to stay in the Thunderbolt. Yep, so there's a Dazzling Gleam, which we correctly predicted to play against. And we'll just take Fuchsia down here, which will be nice. So that's 3 down. His biggest threat now is probably Zapdos. Zapdos is the best threat against this, I think. Simply because it resists Air Slash and takes neutral damage from Thunderbolt, but we can Will-O-Wisp it and wear it down, I think. Let's see here. If he brings in, obviously, a Escavalier or Floatzel, we'll probably Will-O-Wisp first. If he brings in Zapdos, well, I guess we'll just Will-O-Wisp everything, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, so he correctly identifies Zapdos as the threat to bring in. We're going to Will-O-Wisp it to try and weaken it down. Ouch, that crit actually hurt a lot. Here he's probably going to try and Thunderbolt again, in which case we're probably going to Mamoswine. And predict that. Now he's probably going to switch into Floatzel here, but he's not going to realize that Icicle Crash is going to do approximately a bajillion damage to it. So he's about to find out the hard way not to do that. This could be an offensive Zapdos with Heat Wave. That's not a totally impossible thing here. But I expect it to be a bulky set. If he's playing full hyper offense and we lose our Mamoswine, that is what it is. We're so far ahead right now that the loss won't matter, because Infernape can come in and Flare Blitz it down to pretty low and sack itself off, or even close combat. But Infernape is basically the perfect revenge killer to a Escavalier right now. So, I mean, as long as I take down Zapdos and Floatzel, it doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure right now he's probably predicting, yeah, if I was going to go for an ice move or not. So, as I said, it approximately does a bajillion damage to him. At this point, what is he going to do? An Aqua move would be interesting. I think Latios is actually fine. He has to potentially crunch here, expecting that to come in. I could Rhyperior too. If I'm expecting a water move, Latios is the better play. If I'm expecting a crunch, Rhyperior is the better play. I think I'm expecting crunch. The safe play is probably to sack Rotom and just take the 5-0 differential. I think that's what I'll do. I'm not too worried about differential right now. So he Aqua Tails, and that's fine. So I think we revenge kill here with Infernape in close combat. Pretty sure that's the play here. Rhyperior can definitely take an Aqua Tail, but he can't really do a whole lot in return. So I'm thinking Latios is the play. We do have Yachi Berry. Crunch doesn't kill. And we can kill with Thunderbolt. So that's what we'll do. We'll kill with Thunderbolt. If he goes for an Ice move, he's going to get a surprise Yachi Berry. If he goes for a Crunch, we'll live. So at least I hope we live. We'll go for the Thunderbolt here. Does a respectable amount of damage. Another Thunderbolt will be able to weaken it to the point where it doesn't do hardly anything, because burn damage will kill it. Okay, so there's the Roost. That's fine. From here, I think I actually should probably just Draco. Yeah, I'll just Draco. Oh, that was a cool animation. I haven't seen the new Draco animation. That was sweet. Gotta drop that Draco. From here, I could switch out. In fact, I probably should. But Latias can't do anything to a Scavalier even if I kill its Floatzel, so I think I actually just want to Healing Wish up Venusaur. Mega Venusaur tanks both of those things for days. So I'm going to Healing Wish up Mega Venusaur. We'll take the 4-0, hopefully, assuming this doesn't kill us. Latias did his job. Draco'd something. Healing Wish. That's what I brought it for. Now I'm pretty sure this will probably outspeed us. So the question is, what is he going to do? Is he going to try crunching? Hope for a crit maybe? Which is possible. And if that happens, we might very well have to go to Infernape and try and revenge kill with close combat. I find it interesting that I brought Mamoswine because Mamoswine has straight power against his team, and Mamoswine's hardly seeing any play. So there's a crunch. As I said, we live it. We Healing Wish up Mega Venusaur, and it's essentially good game from here. From here, we will... I suppose we can Leech Seed and then just Synthesis Stall. And just in case, I'll say, in case the Scavalier comes in and expects the Sludge Bomb, and then we'll just HP Fire here. Mega Horn does a lot to us, actually. From here, we're going to switch into Rhyperior. Tank the Mega Horn decently well. Leech Seed will heal us. Floatzel comes in. Probably an Aqua Tail. We might actually just go down to a 3-0 here. I mean, realistically, I could Poison Jab here. Eh. He's got to have Aqua Jet, I would think. So I don't want to switch in Mega Venusaur just yet. I would rather Synthesis on Mega Venusaur. This actually... Oh man, I didn't think about this. If he has Aqua Jet, we're actually in a really tough spot here. I think I have to Poison Jab. I have to potentially sack this off. Yep. So, first off, I think we test and see if he does indeed have Aqua Jet. And if he does, it just is what it is. Otherwise, close combat. Close combat. The crit shouldn't have mattered. We should have been able to kill anyways. Good game to Mr. Sarrfnar with the GGs, and we'll take the 3-0. This didn't go quite exactly as planned, only because I didn't respect the power of Escavalier. I always seem to, like, one of my main problems, I guess, is that I don't really respect the lower tier mons, and it's something I've been working on and getting more used to, but Escavalier I just assumed to be super bulky. I completely forgot that it was super, like, offensive as well, similar to something like Rhyperior, where it's very bulky on the physical side, but it also has a crap ton of attack. Escavalier is much the same way, and I completely blanked out on that. I don't know why. But those Mega Horns were cash. They did tons of damage. The burn on Mega Venusaur was unfortunate early on with the Fire Blast, but again, it wasn't a huge deal. I mean, we got the Healing Wish off on it just fine because we preserved it, and we preserved our differential fine, pulling things out when we needed to and stuff that allowed us to sack them later on to help maneuver our way into a point where we could win the game. So I think overall I'm fine with this game. Prediction-wise, we played great. We identified all of his plays and we played accordingly. Whether or not I made the right plays, I don't know about that one. I'm sure I probably could have done a little bit better to maybe get a 4-0 or something, but I'm happy that we predicted correctly. I'm confident that we'll be able to take these predictions to next week against Pablo. So the question really remains is if I can keep playing decently to well, like I have been. So thank you guys again for watching the match. This will put us up to a 6-2. I'm not sure a 3-0 will be enough to guarantee the clinch. We'll probably still have to get one more win, depending on how people's games go. But we do have Pablo and Carlos left in the main season. Naturally, of course, Pablo is next week, so that's going to be a rough one, but we'll see what happens. Take care, guys. See you guys next week.